back with my Cheeky Studio kit for the month of October, and I'm getting ready to print some photos of my daughters. They were reading the other day, and I figured with all of these books and words, it was a great opportunity to scrapbook the moments that are happening right now. So let's see what I can do. Alright guys, let's see if I can actually record this voiceover now. So this is my second try, the first time I voiced over and neglected to hit record. It's been one of those weeks. I am almost recovered from my sickness, so I really appreciate all the kind sentiments and well wishes that headed my way. Certainly appreciate it. I'm feeling a whole lot better. Not 100%, but we'll get there. Okay, so now if you watched my unboxing video, you will notice that I noticed this book die cut matches completely perfectly over top of one of the outlines of the stack of books here on this paper. And quite frankly, that was the most important thing that I needed to make happen on this layout. Now, I am a chronological scrapper, and I literally scrapped these photos the same day that I took them, and I purposely took the photos to scrap them. I am definitely still on the chronological bandwagon, but I just like throwing in other things. I have some older photos of my kids reading books, nothing really current, and I just thought, you know what, reading is a big part of their lives right now, and I want to commemorate these moments. They're older, they're getting ready to leave. Chloe is going off to college in January, and Lana will be leaving shortly after her. So it's just important to me as I am getting close to the empty nest stage of my life to have some of these more recent moments documented and basically just preserved and enjoying that time, and just looking back at it. I don't want to, in like 3 years when I'm finally up to scrapbooking this moment, I don't want to look back on it with the, oh, I miss the kids moment. I want to scrap it now where I'm saying, look at what they're doing right now. Alrighty, so enough of that. Now that I've talked about that, you could see what I did. Nothing, whole lot of specialness. I used some of that baker's twine that was on a wine cork, which is super awesome. It totally goes with the theme with the books and the wine, and unfortunately, well, no, not unfortunately, shame on me. Very fortunately, my daughters are teenagers and are not partakers of wine, so there will be no wine on this page, but it's there in the kit, so don't worry about it. This little brown bag was in my kit box, and I had this glassine bag from a Brutus Monroe inspiration box, and I just decided to layer those together over top of this yellow paper with the gray text. And the text on this paper is fantastic. It's got some really fun sayings on it. So if you are lucky enough to get this kit, definitely read the paper. Fun stuff on there. Now, I'm trying to figure out which frame I want to use, and I almost used that red frame that had the exact same book pile, but the book piles were too close together and it kind of made me feel awkward. So I went ahead and went with this bright light blue frame, and that's just going to go ahead and give it a little bit of pop of color and a little bit of brightness in the dark layout, because there, I mean, it's kind of autumnal and dark, so the bright blue goes for it. Now, this is a library card tear-off notepad. I want to say it's from Dear Lizzie from a while ago, I think. If it's the wrong collection, guys, I'm sorry. I can't remember. Since I started doing YouTube, I think of my stuff differently. I think of my papers and stuff in collections, but usually I can remember, not collections, by manufacturer. Usually I can remember manufacturers. Sometimes I can't, and it's just like, sorry. And I hate packaging. I get rid of as much of the packaging as I can. So if I don't have the packaging and it's not on there, and I can't remember like every single little detail of the 9 billion things that are in my craft room here, so you know. Now this is just a maroon scrap of paper that I had in my paper scraps, and I decided to go with the maroon here instead of repeating the blue because I absolutely love a cream, maroon, and gray color palette. It flat out does it for me. I just enjoy it. And it's not that far off of a black, red, and white color palette, which is also a super striking palette. So I just really like that gray, cream, and maroon together, and I went for it. Now these Project Life enamel dots and hearts also came in the Cheeky Studio kit, and let me tell you, I have a problem with scrapbooking products that have adhesive on them. So everybody knows about the thickers, and if you have the chipboard thickers, those suckers aren't staying with the adhesive that is on the back of them. You know, adhesive should adhere things, but it really doesn't. It basically has enough stick to hold to its release paper, and that's about it, which sucks. So these little guys right here, some of them just didn't stick enough, so I had to add a little bit of adhesive on the back of it. And I don't know if this is like a widespread thing with all adhesiveness now across all scrapbooking companies, where they're just like, it doesn't need to stick that much. Maybe there's like a conspiracy where the glue companies and the paper companies are getting together and they're like, yeah, we need each other, and we need each other more if we have to keep adding more glue. Who knows? That's crazy talk. I know. I'm just saying, like, these are the weird things that, you know, run through my mind, and I could see like a book written about it or a mystery or something crazy like that, and it's just random craziness, and that's the kind of stuff that runs through my head. And you know, I can't tell the people that are around me on a regular basis about those crazy things because they'll be like, oh, you're crazy. So guess what, guys? I get to share it with you. And you can think I'm crazy because that's totally cool because I'm just a face on your computer screen. So anyway, it's all good. Now, these tabs here also came from a Cheeky Studio kit in the past. I thought that the blue was a good enough match that I decided to put it down there. I'm going to add some staples to that frame, and this is how lazy I was feeling. I totally did not refill my tiny attacher to add the 5th staple. I was going to add 5, I ran out of 4, and I just went with it. So there it is. Now these are from Willow Lane. They're Maggie Holmes, and they also came in a Cheeky Studio kit. And I just really appreciate that previous kits I can still pull out and use elements from, even though the themes are nothing alike, and they just work. So that kind of stuff makes me happy. I am definitely a person that loves to mix the old stuff that I have, even if it's not that old, but it's not my latest. So the older stuff and the newer stuff that comes into my scrapbook room, I just really love doing them together. Now those Vicky Bouton stickers also came from an older Cheeky Studio kit, which was pretty awesome. Now I decided to cut those flowers as well. I figured I just needed a little bit more flowers here, and why not? Everybody could use more flowers in their lives, unless they're allergic. Then, you know, sorry guys if you're allergic, but these are paper flowers that I can put on as many as I want. Now I'm getting ready to spell read, but obviously screw that up because, you know, 4-letter words, tough stuff there. But I go ahead and realize my error, and I just go ahead and put down read, and then underneath it's going to say for days. Now I don't know if this is a regional thing or what, because I haven't really heard a lot of people say it out here in California, but back in Maryland, we used to say, like, could read for days, or I made making cookies for days, or, you know, could eat this for days. Like, just to show something that is awesomely excessive. And I just don't know if that's a regional thing. Is that a regional thing? Do you say things like, I could read for days? If you say that, drop me a comment down below, because I'd really love to know it. Or maybe it's just something I said and I never realized that when I lived in Maryland, because that was, you know, life. So anyway, I'm going to add some enamel dots down here. They aren't the exact colors, but they're close enough, and close enough is good enough for me. I'm going to lay down a little bit of journaling here about how my daughters got my love of reading, and I just really find it awesome that they are such voracious readers. So I'm just going to lay that down there with the date, and I believe that's going to do it. So guys, if you're interested in placing an order on Cheeky Studio, head there and use my code Sandy10, 10% off your order, not just your first order, every order. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.